So good morning everyone. I'm sorry for the delay. There was some kind of technical issue. Anyways, we are back here now. So let's start, and before moving further, you are seeing over here that we are offering 50% discount on the occasion of New Year. So this discount is valid from 28th to 31st December. So obviously today is 30th and tomorrow is 31st. So there are 2 days you can avail the discount. We are providing 50% discount on all online pen drive courses and test series, and 25% on DLPs and books. So you can download the Drishti Learning app and enjoy your journey with respect to the preparation. Other than that, you can click on the link which is given in the description to avail the offer, or you can call on this number, that is 87501 for more information. Okay, with that, happy new year. Let's move further and start with our discussion. So today we'll be talking about these important topics over here. FPI inflow drops by 99%. When we are talking about this FPI, the foreign portfolio investment which are coming from outside to India, now last year it has been somewhere around 1.7 lakh crore. Okay, but this year they are somewhere around 1600 crore only. That means that there is a drop by 99% nearly. So we will be seeing what are the reason and what is this FPI. Okay, so all these things we will be discussing in this article. Then Trump and H1B visa story. Now when we are talking about Mr. Trump, you know that in the first term of their office, what he has done is that he was against the H1B visas. Okay, now recently his closest ally Elon Musk has said that they are favoring H1B visa, and then he has made a comment that they are actually favoring the H1B visa. So we will be seeing that what is the story behind H1B and what kind of visa are there. So we will be talking about that. Then what is Iran's axis of resistance? Now there was this article wherein they have discussed the role of Houthis in the Middle East region. Okay, now for our importance we will be talking about the axis of resistance from that particular article. Okay, other than that, as usual, we will be discussing the practice question which was given to you in the previous lecture, and the fact of the day. After that, there will be a geography through map. Herein we will be talking about the Ganga Brahmaputra plains. Okay, we have already talked about Himalayas. Now we will be moving further with the Ganga Brahmaputra plains. Then in the end, there will be, for your own read, there is no article today. We will be giving some passing references. So if you want, you can go and read those articles, and then there will be a practice question. Okay, so let's start with the discussion. First, we will be talking about the practice question. The Ken Betwa river linking project is associated with which of the following national park? Now, with reference to this particular project, Ken Betwa, which is there in Madhya Pradesh, you know that. Okay, we have discussed that the Prime Minister Modi has laid the foundation for this particular project. Now they are asking with reference to this particular project which national park has been talked about. Okay, so here you can say Gir National Park, that is there in Gujarat, so that cannot be your answer. Jim Corbett, that is there in Uttarakhand, so that cannot be your answer. Coming to the Panna, that is in Madhya Pradesh, that can be your answer. And then Ranthambore, that is there in Rajasthan, so obviously option C would be your right answer, that is Panna Tiger Reserve. Now because of this Ken Betwa river linking project, it has been seen that there can be some kind of threat to Panna Tiger Reserve. Okay, but that was the issue earlier. After that, now foundation has been laid. Now moving further, NASA's Parker solar probe. Here in the fact of the day, we are talking about this particular NASA's Parker solar mission. When we are talking about the NASA's mission, you can tell me that India also has one of such mission for solar studies. You can tell me in the comment box that which mission is that, or the name of the mission. Okay. Now moving further, why we are talking about this particular project right now? Because recently it has actually recorded by flying closer to the sun than any other man-made object. Okay, so this is the first time. This is the probe which has gone to closest of the sun. Okay, so that is why we are talking about this. Now it was launched in 2018. It is a car-sized robotic spacecraft, is named after the American solar astrophysicist, that is Eugene Newman Parker. Okay, so on his name they have actually sent this particular probe, and this time it is the first, you can say, astrophysicist on whose name, basically you can say that he is a living astrophysicist or researcher on whose name they have sent this particular probe. Okay, now with the name it is clear that it is a solar probe, so it will be looking and studying the solar environment, etc. So the probe uses an advanced carbon composite heat shield to withstand the extreme temperature. We are saying that it has moved closest to the sun. Okay, this is the only human made object which has been closest to the sun. Why? Because we are using a advanced carbon composite heat shield to, you can say, resist the temperature. Okay, Now, what are the objective over here? So you can see the solar Parker probe aims to approach 6.5 million kilometers of the sun to study the energy flow solar corona heating. Okay, so basically they will be studying the corona, they will be studying the energy flow, they will be studying that how magnetism work over there, how the particles which are coming when we are talking about the solar flares, etc. So how these particles are coming out of sun. So all these things they will be investigating. It will also investigate the source of the solar winds, high speed streams of the charged particles, okay, which is ultimately leading to the you can say magnetism, to investigate the sun's corona, which we have already seen, and understand why it is hotter than the sun's surface. Okay, then coming to the next one, to determine the structure and the dynamics of the plasma and the magnetic fields, which we have already discussed, to explore the mechanism that accelerate and transport the energetic particles which are you can say coming out of the sun. Okay, so these are some of the objectives. In simple words, you can say that they are trying to study the energy flow and the solar corona. Okay, so that two things you can remember for your exams. Now, yes, someone has said Aditya L1 mission, right? You are correct, Rajkumar. Aditya L1 mission is India's solar probe. Okay, coming to the next one, that is geography through map. As I told you, we after your Himalayas we will be discussing the plains. So since we are not going very much into details, here you can see that these are the area which is your plains. Okay, now this you can see this is your Ganga plains, and then these are your Brahmaputra plains. So today we will be talking about the Ganga Brahmaputra plains. Okay, now after Himalayas you will be seeing that in the foothills of the Himalayas we have this Tarai region, and after that we have this normal plains. Okay, so here you can see we have this upper Ganga plain. Okay, after that you will be seeing that this is the middle Ganga plain, and then these are the area, this is the lower Ganga in the Bangladesh area and the West Bengal area, and here you can see this is your Brahmaputra plains in the northeastern region. Here Satluj Yamuna plain. Okay, we know that this Punjab region is there, then Satluj Yamuna plain is there, and Delhi Punjab area, and then coming to this one, this Thar area is considered as the Rajasthan plains. Okay, so this is your you can say this is how you can break the whole plain region in India. Okay, so here you can say Rajasthan plains, Satluj Yamuna plains, upper Ganga, middle Ganga, Brahmaputra plains, and the lower Ganga plains. Now these are further divided into different names, so we will be talking about that as well. Here you can see when we are talking about this is called as the Marwar plains, or the Rajasthan plains are called as the Marwar plains, because this is the region of Marwar. Okay, this Jodhpur, Badmer, Jaisalmer, Pali, this is basically the region of Marwar. Then here you can see when we are talking about this Punjab plains or the Satluj Yamuna plains, so here you can say this is called as the Malwa plains of Punjab. Okay, coming over here you will be finding Rohilkhand plains. Okay, then Awadh plains in the areas of UP. Coming further here, Mithila plains, the area of the you can say Purvanchal region. Okay, this is Mithila plains. Then little bit south of that you have Magadh plains. Now these are same Gangetic plains, but they have the local names because of their you can say local areas. Okay, so these are some of the important things which are important for us over here. Okay, then here we have Assam plains. Okay, I hope that is clear. Now we can move further to the next part. Now we are talking about the economy over here, and the first article is related to the FPI inflows. Now what is FPI? Now let's see. There is a person in USA, okay, name is Mr. A. Mr. A wants to invest in India, okay, and now these investments are not for any kind of ownership. Let's say there is a person who buys a company, that is the investment which is made by a person, that is FDI. Okay, direct investment is there and it is for the longer runs, and ownership is also been talked about, that is your foreign direct investment. We are not talking about that. We are talking about the shorter term investments wherein ownership transfer is not there. Okay, so in the case of your you can say stock market, bonds, etc., these are some of the investments which are considered as FPIs. Now Mr. A wants to invest some of his money in India because India is giving you better you can say returns. Okay, in that regard he approaches the stock markets over here, and then they actually invest over here. So okay, this is called as foreign portfolio investment. Okay, so we will be talking about that. Just for the information, what we are talking about right now over here is that there is a person who is there in foreign, they want to invest in some other country, they will be doing it through foreign portfolio investment. Okay, now coming to the article over here, year 2024 saw a sharp slowdown in the foreign portfolio investment activity with foreign investors pumping in just over rupees 16,000 crore. Okay, sorry, 1600 crore, not 16,000, 1600 crore on a net basis into the domestic equity market. A steep fall from the 99, you can say last year's investment, that is somewhere around 1.71 lakh crore. Okay, from 1.71 lakh crore last year, we are receiving 1600 crore as FPI this time. So that is nearly 99% fall in the FPI. Now why is that happened? All these things we will be discussing in the further slide. For your information, here you can see concerns over the overvaluation of the Indian stock market, then below expectation of the, you can say, domestic GDP in the last quarter. We have seen that when we are talking about the RBI, they have said that somewhere around 6.4% kind of growth will be there, but we have only seen 5.4% growth in the last quarter. So if the growth was less, and that is why the sentiments of the market were in such a way that the FPI has gone out of country. Okay, then weak corporate earnings and higher US bond yields, that we will be discussing what is the meaning of this higher US bond yields. Okay, so now matter of the fact is that we are receiving lesser FPI this time. So here you can say the month of January we have seen some kind of outflow. If we are talking about in negative, that means that outflow, money has gone out of India. Okay, then we have gained for February and March, and then again there was this outflow in April and May, and coming to the next 3-4 months, we have seen some kind of inflows and then again outflows. Okay, now why outflows are there? There were two or three reasons. One is the US government is offering better yield. Okay, because of the federal policies over there, they are giving better results. So if there is a person who is there in USA, he wants to invest in India because India earlier gave the better returns, but now USA is giving better returns, so they are investing in USA and not coming to India. Okay, second thing is over here that China has given some kind of stimulus to domestic economy over there, and because of which it was felt that China would be a better destination for the you can say FPI, and that is why India has seen some kind of outflow from India, and then investment has been seen in China. Okay, so these were two factors. Other than that also we will be talking about it. Okay, now coming to the next part over here, what are your FPIs? What is FPI? Okay, so here you can say FPI refers to the purchase and holding of foreign financial assets. As I told you, foreign financial assets by investors seeking to invest in a country outside their own to generate quick returns. Okay, so as I told you, foreign financial assets, that means that there is a person, Mr. A, which is a USA citizen, so he is looking outward and he is looking to invest in a foreign asset, be it India. Okay, so that is what FPI is. If a person from one country wants to invest outside their country, that is foreign portfolio investment. Now access to the range of investment instruments such as stocks, bond, mutual funds, derivative, and the fixed deposits. All these things, you know that when we are talking about the stock, these are your you can say share market, and then coming to the bonds, these are also bonds and secure you can say sovereign bonds, etc. are there. Okay, coming to the next one, mutual funds, that is also an instrument. Coming to the derivatives and fixed deposit, so basically a person from outside, they are coming to your country and they are investing into all these instruments. Okay, now it does not offer any form of control over the entity and hence offer no ownership of the entity. As I told you, these are just small amount of investment which are there, so they have nothing to do with the ownership and the control of that particular company or the company whose share they are buying. Okay, FPI does not require any kind of transfer of intellectual property, technology, or know-how. Now if there is a investor who is coming to India through the route of the foreign direct investment and they are occupying a company, so there are high chances that they will come up with some kind of new technology. They might go for the intellectual property and some kind of technical know-how. But in this particular you can say FPIs, you don't require any kind of intellectual property transfer or the technology transfer or any kind of know-how transfer. Okay, so this is about FPI. Portfolio investment typically have a shorter time frame for the investment returns than the direct investment, which we have already discussed. Okay, so this is about your foreign portfolio investment. Now if we look at the reasons, what has been the reason for the decline, so here some of the macroeconomic factors were working towards that, that is your quarter 2's you can say GDP growth. Okay, we have seen that there was this 5.4% GDP growth which was there but RBI has expected somewhere more than 6%, and this is the one of the reason that the prospects of our economy's growth was lowered, and because of which you can say foreign investors did not invest. Coming to the next one, below expected corporate earnings. Corporate earnings are less, that means that you are offering less dividends. Okay, if let's say a person has invested in a company XYZ and XYZ company's profit is less. Okay, if profit is less, that means that they are providing less dividends. Okay, and most of the time you will be seeing that FPIs are for the quick returns, and if you are not providing these quick returns, that means that they will go out of your country. Coming to the next one here, strong US dollar and the higher US bond yield. Now if the strong US dollar is there, that means that dollar is giving you more outputs. Okay, so here if you are investing in India and you are getting a return that is somewhere around 4%, okay, and if US bond is there and if you are investing in US bond and you are getting a return that is somewhere around 6% or 7%, so obviously you will be going for the investment in USA only. Okay, so that is why they are saying that US bond returns are high, US bond yields were higher, and because of which they have gone for the investment in USA only and not in India. Okay, valuation concerns, mostly when we are talking about the primary market, okay, when we are talking about the IPOs etc., initial public offerings. So some of the time what happens is that the value of a particular IPO is over assessed. Okay, let's say there was this IPO which has been offered by a company X and they have offered it at a value of let's say 100 rupees, but then in the market because of the speculations the value has over appreciated, and you will be seeing that these these particular IPOs are selling at somewhere around 150 or 160 rupees, but it does not have that kind of value. Okay, intrinsic value is not that, and because of this over evaluation, okay, they have not invested in India. Coming to the next one, geopolitical and the market sentiments. As I told you, geopolitics is an important factor. If there is some kind of chaos which is going on in a particular region, and because of which the economy of other regions are getting impacted. Now let's say if there is a chaos in the Middle East region, we are getting oil from that particular area, and because of which India might see some kind of supply side disruptions. So considering that, also you will be seeing that we are not attracting investments. Okay, so concerns over the USA Federal Reserve interest rate hikings because of the USA's return. When we are talking about the USA's federal rates, that will impact the USA's dollar or the bond yields etc. Investors diverted funds to US market due to the stronger returns which we have already discussed. Now these are the reasons because of which we have seen lesser FPI this time. Okay, I hope that is clear. Now let's move further to the next one, that is Trump weighing in on the H1B visa being a believer great program. Okay, now when we are talking about the first term, you must have seen that various visa H1B visas has been declined by Mr. Trump, and now he is saying that we are supporting it because one factor is that he is being supported by Elon Musk. Okay, he is the owner of your you must have seen this social media site that is X, or former you can say Twitter. Okay, so owner of that is Elon Musk. He is kind of a businessman, and he has said that we are supporting H1B visas. He will fight for it. Why? Because H1B visa gives a way through which a skilled person from another nation, let's say there is a person or the software engineer from India, he can work over there on H1B visas. Now he is a capitalist, he wants that there should be skilled mind working in their company, so obviously they should give these H1B visas. Okay, other than that, for also when we are talking about the market growth, also skilled labor is one of the primary requirement, and that is why they have said that they are supporting H1B visas. Now other than that, if we are talking about the Mr. Trump, he is against the illegal immigrants. Okay, so that is one fact. Now when we are talking about this H1B visas, they are not illegal immigrants, they are taking the visa and then they are coming to your country. Okay, so that was something which has been discussed over here. Donald Trump has backed a key ally, Elon Musk, calling himself a believer in H1B visa and saying he has always been in favor of the visas. Okay, now the H1B program allows businesses in USA to employ skilled foreign nationals. We will be talking about that further. Here you can say during the Donald Trump's first term as USA president, his administration imposed restriction on H1B visa, citing concerns over the abuse and economic strain. Okay, then the hard line on the immigration focused mostly on the illegal immigrants, which we have just talked about, formed an important part of his campaigning during this term as well. Now support for H1B visa comes at a time when the program face intense scrutiny, including a section of his supporters. Okay, so right now he is saying that we are kind of supporting H1B visas. Now let's see what H1B visa is. Okay, it is a non-immigrant visa for foreign workers in specialty occupations requiring theoretical or the technical expertise. Now simply you can say that that is for the skilled labor. Okay, a person who is educated, who has a degree and he is skilled in a certain area. Okay, in that he has some kind of specialty. Okay, specialty occupations include technology, finance, engineering and the architecture. Now coming to the eligibility, so there should be a valid job offer from USA. So here valid job offer from US employer for a role that requires special knowledge. Okay, proof of bachelor's degree or equivalent experience in that particular field. The US employer must show that there is a lack of qualified US applicants for the role. Now the employer, the company who is hiring that particular person, they need to show that there is a lack of such labor in their country, and on the basis of that only they can go for, you can say, hiring a person from outside. Now moving further, there is a cap, that is there is an annual limit, that is 85,000 visas can be given, in which there will be 65,000 regular and 20,000 advanced degree holders will be there. Some exemptions can be there for the higher education and the affiliated non-profit organizations. Applicant can selected by a lottery system. They are basically selected by a lottery system because visas are, you know, the applications are too much and there is a cap on the visa. Okay. Now what are the features? So with this particular visa you can work over there for 3 years and that can be extended for another 3 years. So totally with the H1B visa you can work there for 6 years. Okay. Allow part 2 green card, so you can apply for the green card as well. Lawful permanent residency. Visa reapplication required when you are changing the job. Now basically you have taken a H1B visa. Okay, then you are showing an offer letter. Initially, as I told you, there is a requirement that you have to tell that there is this US company which has given me a job offer. Okay. Now if that is the company A which has given you a job offer, now you are switching to company B, then also you have to go for the reapplication for this visa. Okay. So that is clear about the H1B visa. There is one more kind of visa which is there, that is L1 visa. Okay. Now let's say there is a company X which is there in India. It is a multinational company, it has office, it is a USA company which is having office in India. Now in India they have hired Mr. Y. Okay, they have hired Mr. Y and now they want him to work in USA. So for that they will be requiring L1 visa. Okay, for intra company transfers from one country to another country, this country is having office in India as well as in USA. They have hired a person in India, now they want that that person should go in USA and work there. So for that they require L1 visa. Okay, so intra company transfer visa for multinational companies allow transfer of employees in specialized position in USA to USA on a temporary basis. No specific education requirement is there because the person is already employed over here. Open to employees, multinationals and not restricted to US based companies. Okay, so if there is a multinational company, so that can be done. Now type of visa, there are two types. One is L1A and second is L1B. Now L1A is for the managerial positions. Okay, managers and executives, and this is for the normal employees. Okay. Now for when we are talking about the maximum term of stay, for L1A there is 7 years, L1B there is 5 years. When we talk about the H1B visa, 3 years, that is 6 years. Okay. So there are two kind of visa we have discussed. One is your L1 visa and second is H1B visa. Okay. Now let's move further to the next article. How do Houthis of Yemen figure in Iran's axis of resistance against Israel? Now there is a lot of geopolitics which has been discussed over here, which is not much important for us. If you are interested, you can go through this article. Otherwise, we will be talking about the Iran's axis of resistance today. Okay, and recently what has happened is that Israel has attacked Yemen, not Yemen. Basically, in Yemen there is a group, militant group, that is Houthis. Now these are the same Houthis who were creating chaos in the Red Sea area. When Israel has attacked Hamas, so they were supporting Hamas. Okay, and they have said that until unless Israel goes for a ceasefire or the humanitarian measures over here, they will be doing something in Red Sea. So they have actually created chaos in Red Sea because that is a important maritime route. Okay, considering that, they have thought that they will leverage it, and you will be seeing that because of the issue in Red Sea, various shipments has been, you can say, using another route or the longer routes, because of which the price of shipment has actually increased. If someone has to go through Red Sea, they have to, you know, pay larger amount of insurance premiums, etc. That has also increased the cost of the shipments. Okay, so that is there, and because of these Houthis, this attitude, and Houthis has also gone for some kind of drone strikes and etc. in Israel, and because of which Israel has gone for this particular attack. Okay, now Israel has been bombing Yemen since the middle of the December, directly striking the Houthi Ansar Allah militant group, expanding its ongoing campaign against Iran, so-called axis of resistance. Okay, now let's talk about this axis of resistance first. Okay, now they are saying that it is Iran's axis of resistance. Okay, why is that Iran's axis of resistance? Because it is supported by Iran. Okay, here you can see this is Iran. Here you know that this is your Israel region. Okay, now in the vicinity of Israel we have Gaza Strip, which was dominated by Hamas. So here Hamas are there, which are, you know, against the Israel. Okay, coming to the next one, here you can see in Syria we have Hezbollah. Okay, so that is also been supported by Iran. So that is the second axis. Okay, third is here somewhere here in Yemen, that is Houthis. Okay, now these are also creating issue in Red Sea, considering that Israel has attacked Hamas. So this is the third axis, that is basically your Houthi. So here you can say Iran is supporting three different outfits. One is Hamas. Where are they? They are in Gaza Strip. Okay, you can see this is Hamas. They are there in Gaza. Coming to the next one, that is Hezbollah. Hezbollah is there in Lebanon. Okay, and then coming to the next one here, these are Houthis. These are there in Yemen. Okay, other than that also, if you talk about Syria, etc., so you know that in Syria also there was this Assad's regime which was there, which was pro-Iran. Okay, because that is getting support from Iran and Israel. Now right now you will be thinking about these three things: Hamas, Houthis and Hezbollah. This is considered as the Iran's axis of resistance, because all of them are against Israel and USA's presence in this particular area. Okay, I hope that is clear. Now coming to the article again. So here the scale of the ongoing strike is wider. Earlier also they have gone for the strikes, but this time they are doing it at a wider pace, because first you are talking about the Hezbollah in Lebanon. They have actually controlled Hezbollah, or you can say they have strike Hezbollah in such a way that their strength is actually deteriorating over there. Then coming to the second one, that is Hamas. You know that they have said that they will be eliminating Hamas from that particular region. So you can say that Hamas are also kind of weak right now. So Hezbollah, Hamas are kind of weak. Now the third is basically Houthis, and now they are striking on Houthis. Okay. Now there is one thing which Israelis are debating, that whether we should strike the third axis or they should directly strike the Iran, because recently you must have seen that there was one attack which was there in Iran as well. Okay. Then moving further, what is the background of the Israeli strikes in Yemen? So there was this particular operation Poseidon Archer. Okay, Operation Poseidon Archer. Poseidon is basically Greek god of the sea. So they have actually, after this Operation Prosperity Guardian, Operation Prosperity Guardian was there in Red Sea when these attacks on the shipments were happening by the Houthis. So they have USA has come up with the allies, and they have gone for the Operation Prosperity Guardian. Now in support of that, they have started another operation, that is Operation Poseidon Archer, with USA, United Kingdoms and other allies which are there in the region. Okay. So they have gone for these two particular operations to strike on Hamas, to make sure that there is not this Red Sea area is secured. Okay. So that is one thing. Other than that also, maritime security is important. So Israel, USA, UK and other allies are basically kind of active in this particular region. Okay. Coming to the next one, I have already discussed the issue which is there in Red Sea, because here you can see this particular map. Okay. Now most of the shipments which are passing through this particular area of Bab al Mandab. Okay. So this Bab al Mandab is leading to the Red Sea, and from there you will be going to the this area of Suez Canal when you are talking about going to Europe. And other than that also, in Israel also there is another port, which is the port name is that Eilat. Okay, Eilat. This particular port is there. Here you can see. So this is causing problem to Israel as well as to the Europe as well, because they are controlling this Red Sea area, and because of which the shipments cannot go to Mediterranean, that is basically connecting channel towards the Europe. Okay. So second, this Eilat, which is there in port town of you can say Israel. So considering that Israel and Europeans are, or the Western allies are not very happy, and that is why they have gone for the attack over here. Now if you can see this particular region, this is Yemen, where you are having these Houthis. That is why it is easy for them to access this particular region of Red Sea. Coming to the Gaza over here, you know that when we talk about the Gaza region over here we have Hamas, and then here in Lebanon we have Hezbollah. Okay. Other than that, go through this particular map. This is the important map when we are talking about the Middle East, so you can remember that. Here we have already discussed the Eilat, which is the port town in the Israel. Now coming to the article over here, which we have already, all these things we have discussed, that why is that there is the issue in Red Sea and why they are going for the operations over here. Okay. Coming to the next one over here, that where do the Houthis stand in the Yemeni civil war? Okay, in the Yemen civil war, there are various outfits which are there, and they are some kind of threat is posed by these outfits to Houthis as well. Okay, so that is not very much important for you, but if you want to go through this, you can go through. Okay, here we were talking about the axis of resistance, which we have already discussed, and other than that, there is nothing much in this article. There is a lot of intricacies which they have talked about, but for a GS section you don't need to go into such details. Okay. Now we have discussed the axis of resistance, we have discussed the dynamics around the Red Sea area. Now if you are not going through Europe through this particular route, then you have to go through the Cape of Good Hope. You can say you have to circumvent the Africa, and then you will be going to the Atlantic, and through that you will be going to the Europe. So that will cost you high, that will take a time as well as cost disadvantage. Okay. Now coming to the next one, that is PM Care Funds received 912 crore contribution in a year after COVID pandemic. Okay, so there was this Prime Minister's Citizen Assistance and Relief Emergency Situation Fund that has received 912 crore contribution during the financial year 2022-23 as a donation. Now this was something which was created during the time of COVID, you know that. Okay. Now there can be contribution that can be voluntary and the foreign. Okay, so from the voluntary part they have received 13,067, and when we are talking about the foreign part, 538. Okay, so this is the total contribution they are talking about through since the time they have that particular fund has started. If we are talking about the last year, that is 2022-23, here you can see that is 909.64 crore has been taken from the voluntary contribution, and 2.57 has been collected from the foreign contributions. Okay. Now we will be talking about what is PM Care Fund, because that can be asked in exam. It was established in March 2020 as Public Charitable Trust under Registration Act 1908. Okay. Now what is the objective? With the name it is clear that it is for the relief. Okay, relief and assistance during the public health emergencies. Okay, earlier we did not have something like this. When we the COVID strike, we have come up with this idea: relief and assistance during the public health emergencies or the other calamities, both natural as well as man-made, to create or upgrade healthcare, pharmaceuticals and necessary infrastructure. So idea here is to go for the upgrade in the healthcare, pharmaceuticals and the necessary infrastructure, to fund relevant research or other supports for the affected population, then render financial assistance or the grant as deemed necessary by the board of trustees. So basically they will be going for the capacity building. Okay. Now there was this another fund which is there when we are talking about the disaster management. There is another fund which is there. Okay. Anyway, dedicated fund to handle the emergencies or distress situations like the public health emergency, natural or the man-made calamities, and provide relief to affected population. Now funding source, we have seen that there can be voluntary funding from the individuals and the organization, then there can be foreign contribution under the FCRA. Okay, that is there, no budgetary support from the government. So for this the government will not be giving any kind of budgetary support. We have already this, it is a public charitable trust. Okay, so that is there. There is no occasion to direct transfer of the PM Cares Fund to NDRF, National Disaster Relief Fund, which is there, which is already existing. So there is no transfer which has been seen till now. Donors can also contribute to the National Disaster Response Fund. So if you want to contribute to PM Cares, you can do that. Otherwise you can go to NDRF as well. Okay. Now moving further, National Maritime Heritage Complex at Lothal will be a bridge between the past, present and future. Now I don't have to tell you that what Lothal is, because you must be aware of that. There is a site which is there, Indus Valley Civilization site, which is there in Gujarat, that is Lothal. It was considered as the port town, or you can say dockyard of the Indus Valley Civilization. Other sites are given over here. Important one I'm marking, so you can please remember that. One is your Kalibanga, then Mohenjo-daro. We have Harappa, which is there. Then Dholavira is quite important. Surkotra is important. Lothal is important. Okay, they can ask you that which one is the northernmost side, southernmost side in India. We have Daimabad, that is basically a southernmost side. Okay, other than that, here Rakhigadi is the largest site as of now, so that is important. Ropar is important. Okay, Harappa is important, which we have already seen. Okay, so these are some of the important sites of Indus Valley Civilization. Now coming to this particular National Maritime Heritage Complex, is being constructed as the historic Indus Valley Civilization reign of Lothal, Gujarat, under the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. They can ask you the ministry as well. They can just since that is related to your heritage, don't confuse with the Ministry of Culture, etc. That is Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. The primary objective is to showcase the maritime heritage of India from ancient to modern times, utilizing an edutainment approach and incorporating the latest technology. They will be using the technology. They will be giving you information, okay, as well as the entertainment. Okay, so that is there to showcase the heritage from ancient till modern times. Okay, it is not solely focused on the ancient time or the Indus Valley Civilization, so it will be going throughout the era. Now significance, so here you can say it is set to become the world's largest maritime museum, so please remember this particular fact. Okay, it will play a crucial role in educating visitors about India's rich maritime history and elevate India's image in the global maritime sector. The project is part of the Sagar Mala project. Please remember this, that it is part of your Sagar Mala project. Okay, and is being developed with the participation of the public, private institution, organizations, corporate social responsibility, and major ports in India have also contributed funds to support the project. Okay, so here there are various sources of funding which are there, and it is part of your Sagar Mala initiative. So obviously government will also be supporting the initiative. Okay, I hope that is clear. Now let's move further to the next one, that is open to Slovakia proposal to host peace talk with Ukraine, says Putin. Recently, you can say both the leader of the Slovakia and Russia, they have met, and the Slovakian you can say leader has you can say said that they are willing to help in this particular matter. And you can see that Russia has kind of accepted that they are willing to go for the peace proposal, which can be or the you can say peace talks which can be held in Slovakia. Okay, so that is there. Russian President Vladimir Putin, Russia is open to Slovakian proposal to host peace talks with Ukraine to end a conflict. Russia was determined to bring a conclusion over here. Putin hosted Slovakian Prime Minister Robert Fico in Kremlin, opponent of the European Union military support for Ukraine. Now, when we are talking about the Slovakia's position, they are kind of considered as neutral. They are not in favor of European Union helping the Ukraine in this war. Okay, Slovakia is seen as one of the growing camp of the Central and the Eastern European Union members, which are skeptical of the support to Ukraine in this particular war. Okay, so that has been talked about over here. North Korean troops suffering heavy losses in the Kursk region. We have already discussed that North Korea is kind of supporting Russia. They are sending even arms as well as the troops. Okay, so these troops are suffering in the Kursk region, that is the you can say western region of Russia, which is there on the border with the Ukraine. Okay, now coming to the next one here. This is the map over here. So you can see this is your Russia. This is Sea of Azov, Crimea, which has been annexed by Russia earlier, that is basically in 2014. Okay, other than that, it is Black Sea. When we are talking about the countries which are having border with Ukraine, so you can see one is Russia, Belarus is there, Poland is there, Slovakia is there, Hungary is there, Romania is there, and Moldova is there. Okay, so these are some countries which you can remember that can be asked in the examinations as well. Now coming to the next one, China defense plan to build dam will not affect the lower reaches. Now we have talked about this dam, we have talked about the feature in the last lecture. This is given over here. The project overview is given, this picture is given here. You can say this is the Yarlung Sangpo river, on which is basically your Brahmaputra river when it enters into India. So here they are going for the construction of dam. This is considered to be the world's largest dam, which is built by China on the Yarlung Sangpo or the Brahmaputra river. Now the concern is that India and Bangladesh are concerned that because of this particular dam, there are chances that the lower riparian states like India and Bangladesh, they might feel shortage of water, or that particular dam can be utilized during the time of conflict to build up pressure. Okay, so these are some of the concerns which are there. Strategic implications are given over here. So since it has been discussed, so I will not go into details of it, but the thing is, China has said that they will be going for the studies, they will be consulting with the states, and there should not be any kind of effect on the lower reaches. Okay, but again, you cannot trust China, so this particular project is not very good when we are talking about India's position. Okay, so that is about China's project, we have already discussed that. Coming to the next one, passing reference is there. After 300 kilometers in 3 states over 21 days, tigress Jeenath finally captured in Bengal. Now tigress Jeenath, she is from the Simlipal. Okay, Simlipal tiger reserve is there, and from where she has been wandering for a nearly 21 days. Now she has been captured. Now here idea is to think about the protected areas of Odisha, because they have said that she is from Simlipal. So this is your Simlipal tiger reserve and the Simlipal national park. Okay, then in the vicinity you will be seeing this Bhitarkanika is there, Gahir Mata is there. Okay, and these areas, Gahir Mata, Bhitarkanika, these are your, you can say, breeding grounds for the olive Ridley turtle. Olive Ridley turtle. These breeding grounds are called as the Aribada. Okay, these are, you can say, mass nesting sites. So that is important. Other than that, also you know that there is this Silica lake which is there, so that is also important for you. Here you can go through the other areas as well. Okay, Hirakund Dam, that is also important, which is there in you can say Odisha, and Satkoshia is important for you. Other than that, we have almost discussed the important parts over here. So that is the passing reference to this article. Now moving to the next one here, Kim was toughest anti-US policies before Trump takes charges. Earlier, when in the first Trump, term by the Mr. Trump, you know that at that point of time there was various conflicts which were there between the you can say Kim Jong-un from the North Korea and the Mr. Trump from USA. So on the basis of their nuclear policy, that was the issue. So in the last term they have met 3 times, but this is, in this term there might be a chance that they might not meet, or we are not seeing such possibility as of now, because the focus of Mr. Trump will be in the Middle East right now. Okay, considering the Israel and the Russia-Ukraine war as well. Okay. Coming to the next one, South Korea's political crisis deepened as the parliament impeaches the acting president. Earlier, there was the president which actually gone for the martial law. Then this martial law was revoked by the parliament. Parliament revoked the martial law, and then they have impeached the president. After the impeachment of the president, there was this acting president which was there, and now they have actually impeached that one as well. So that is the kind of political crisis which is going in the South Korea, which you can see. And today's paper you will be seeing that there was this plane crash which has been there in South Korea. Okay, so you can go through that particular news article as well. Now in the end, we have this practice question for you. Which of the following is not true about the L1 visas? It allows transfer of employees within the same company. It is restricted to US based companies only. It has no specific education requirement. It includes 2 categories, that is L1A and L1B. Okay, so you can attempt this particular question and answer to me in the comment box. With that, I would like to take your leave. I'll see you in the next session. Till then, have a good day and thank you. Other than that, one more thing, if you want to avail the offer for your new year, you can go through the description, which is there is a link in the description. You can go through that, or you can call on this number, that is 87501 87501. Okay, have a nice day. Thank you. I'll see you in the next session.